Oh, it first said in okay. An error occurred. Oh, occurred in LinkedIn. Okay. So did you have it you have it on LinkedIn?
Yeah, yeah. I'll press go live, but we're live.
Okay. Awesome. All right. Did you want I could push go live right here. Did you want me to push it right here to see
I
if it
pressed it. Now it's doing it for me.
okay. So it must be the LinkedIn that was having issues.
Yeah, because it
Okay.
say we live. I just got a notification.
Okie dokie. All righty. So let me make sure I'm going back to the chat, the comments. That's what it's called. All right. Well, it's so good to see you again, Coach Marshaun. We haven't been on live. What has it been a couple of weeks?
It's been a couple weeks. Yeah, yeah. It's been a few weeks. So we here though.
We here. Okay, so today we said we're gonna talk about, still continuing on the whole dating. Well, we're both relationship coaches, so obviously that's what the heck we're gonna be talking about. But we want to talk about dating and like when we say healthy, it could be physical health and it could be mental health, right? I think that
Mental.
health is health. Shoot,
Nope.
I don't care which type of health it is. So we're gonna talk about how healthy or why or how what we got why healthy women date differently, right?
Yes, yes, V. That's where we at.
Okay, so Coach Marshawn, do we need to do an introduction?
Yeah, let just yes, we do.
Okay, I'm gonna let you introduce yourself.
Okay, it's a brief introduction, but still, we never know who watching, who coming in here new.
That's right. That's right.
Okay, so I am Coach Marshawn, as V just mentioned. I am a shift relationship strategist, and who do I serve? I serve um, career focused Black women, and I help them to get back and gain their clarity, confidence, so when they're ready to show up in dating or get back out there, whatever, wherever you at, and they know
Hmm.
how to show up without feeling like they need to be somebody different. Their representative can actually take a rest and the real her can actually show up. So that's who I am and that's who I serve. Thank you so much for having me,
Well,
Ms. V.
thank you for joining, and for those who are joining from your I'm about to say station from your channel. I'm Be Mindful. I'm a relationship coach and published author, and I will say those who hire me are those who women who want to go from strong to soft and lonely to love. So, but I also work with men as well. So, men, typically middle-aged men, so who are trying to get back out here and hop on this dating wagon, right? Trying to figure life out. Okay, with that being said, y'all, we're gonna talk about dating, and okay, so how do healthy women just show up differently? Because we know that and some of the people that we coach, right, just not being able to date successfully. I'm gonna just say that date successfully, right? There's a difference though. How you show up is going to determine what you attract, right?
Yeah.
So if you're showing up in such a way that's not allowing you to attract healthy dynamics, right? So, what is the difference between how you and I may show up if we're choosing to date or not date or whatever, versus how somebody who has some issues to work through. So we talked about it. So I don't know if you want to go first with a tip or how a healthy woman might show up differently, or do you want me to kick it off, Coach Marshawn?
You know what? Since you put me on the spot, let me go ahead. I can kick it off.
Okay.
And we can talk about boundaries.
Okay.
We can talk about boundaries. Because and I know earlier, or I should say previously, you and I specifically talked about the body, but when your body feels strong, rested, cared for, saying no becomes so much easier because you're
Mm-hmm.
taking care of yourself. You
Mm-hmm.
actually stop overextending yourself. You
Mm-hmm.
stop people pleasing. And guess what? You also stop tolerating the disrespect from not only your partner, but just people in general, because you're no longer operating from a standpoint of desperation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think well that's true, right? And I think healthy women, not only with the boundaries, one thing I can tell you for sure is we walk away We walk away. And I'm not saying to walk away, oh my gosh, he stutters a little bit. I'm not talking about something like that, walk away, like I'm just not going to deal with that. I'm talking about when you notice that somebody's not aligned with the healthy version of you,
Yep.
you will walk away. Unlike somebody who might stick around for months and years and years. Next thing you know, 25 years has passed because you don't know anything differently, right? So that's a huge thing. And I think that people got to put their energy into figuring out what does healthy really look like. Because if not, I mean, we ain't given one life. Like, I believe in the reincarnation as well. But I know V is sitting right here, and I know that if I could get a do over, I would. Some of the relationship that I had in the past. But either way, I just feel like we got to recognize what healthy is so that we don't waste the life that we got.
Exactly. Absolutely. Yeah, I agree.
Hey, NYC Chocolate, thank you for
Hey.
joining. And Rhonda, thank y'all for joining. Ladies, we're going to talk about, and if y'all got comments to add about what does healthy look like if you are a woman dating or even you're a man dating, like what does healthy look like to y'all and what makes y'all differently than versus maybe you were unhealthy in the past? Like, what does that look like today? Okay. So I
Can
was,
I just add that
go ahead.
I started with boundaries because that was something that I actually struggled with years ago. At this point, a lot of the things that I'm talking about when it pertains to myself, they're not current. I'm past this stage in my life, but younger
Amen.
Marshaun, less gray haired Marshaun, definitely would allow things to be said and or done that more mature, have high self-esteem, higher standards, Marshawn is just not dealing with. So it was harder for me to specifically say no when I was younger. And it wasn't so much people pleasing, mine was abandonment. So I didn't want you just to leave me. And I noticed that it wasn't really with my friendships, it was definitely in the dating arena for sure. So now I know who I am. I know my worth and I can stand on that 10 toes down for sure and not be scared to speak up or ask for the things that I want, need, and desire because I'm believing or fearful that he's going to walk away. If he's going to walk away at this point, more mature Marshawn is like, if you're going to walk away, you ain't for me, bro.
Mhm.
That's not what we're doing. Younger,
Mhm.
immature, wanting to feel needed, wanting to be seen by the world on somebody's arm. That was something that I was struggling with. So the boundaries were not there, but it had to do with me and my self esteem, right, and my low confidence. So that's why I started with boundaries for sure. Because also, ladies that I coach, I noticed that a lot of them have the confidence issue itself. And so, as you just mentioned earlier, we attract where we are at. And so, if you already have low self esteem, even if he doesn't have low self esteem, trust me, believe me, he knows that you have it, whether he verbalizes or not. Which is why he continues to treat you in a way that it
Mhm.
doesn't make you feel good about yourself at all.
Mm. Well, I'll say hi, Lamar. Hi, Boo, and hi, Vibe. Hey, girl. I'm gonna tell you this. I had the opposite. I very much so had the opposite. I was
Mhm.
quick, fast, in a hurry. I'd be like, oh, I don't like this. I'm out. I'm out. Like I'm out quick. I'm done. Like my tolerance was very, and not to say that
Mm,
it's even much better. I just have been able to understand work on myself to understand that. Okay, V, maybe that ain't all that bad, but I mean, when I was post marriage and trying to heal through my trauma from my marriage, right? Oh, girl, please, I can't even begin to. I was like, I ain't feeling this one, so I'm just gonna
mm,
check out and go.
okay,
So yeah, I never had I can't say never, but I sure didn't have like, I'm gonna hang on to you, girl. I'm gonna let you go.
right,
I'm gonna
right,
let
right,
you
right.
go. And one thing I never did is I never competed. Like I'm a competitive woman by nature. I didn't raise three sons, right? I'm competitive. They've all played sports, right? We competitive over here.
Okay,
But
okay.
I ain't gonna compete over no man.
Mm,
Mm-mm. If I
that
feel like
part.
a woman's got your attention, you can have her. Like I promise you, I that is the quickest way to dry this coochie up is by me just be like, this is there is no because I'm not competing against. I'm not. No, it's childish. Women don't do that. Like if he want to entertain other women, like you don't have to be petty about it though.
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah, you
you
don't.
gon' you don't know. You just you be the diva that you are and just self select your way to another option. There are plenty of men out here. Don't let the internet fool you. There are
Okay.
plenty of men out here, and there are men out here that aren't entertaining a million women. Now, I understand when you get in, when you start off right, you might meet somebody who's going out with multiple women. I get that because I'm
Yeah.
going, going, I'll
Mhm.
be doing the same, going out with multiple men. I get that. But as time goes on and they still keep the, right? You and if you sleeping with them and your pH, all that stuff, right? Like you gotta self-select and self-respect yourself enough to get on out of that
Mhm.
situation.
Mhm.
I ain't
Mhm.
competing. All the ladies love Lamar. Lamar. Mr. 6'6". Mr. Fine Lamar too, with his handsome bear. I see it. Don't be coming up over here trying to steal these women.
Okay,
Mm.
Lamar, put your picture up there. Talking about some bala hall. Come on now, I want to see this picture that everybody talking about now.
And I know Rhonda, like that's one thing I ain't gonna do. I ain't competing for a man. I sure am not. So okay, so another thing that healthy, we can even say somebody who's more balanced, more into her feminine essence, right? Also, that could be somebody healthy, somebody who isn't dealing with their anxious attachment style or they're avoidant. I think you had anxious, I had avoidant, and which is why I was checking out and you was hanging on.
Come on, choose to see me,
Them
baby.
days is gone, right? Them days is gone, right? But anyway, so somebody who's more, self-aware. So okay, you want to give the next one, or
No,
did you
no,
want
no,
me?
go.
Okay, so one big thing, they don't rush. They not rushing. I see so many women are impatient. Y'all think that y'all had a great first date, second date, y'all might be giving up the draws. But I'm just saying, but y'all think that we go together now. Like, oh, he's my girl.
Mm,
You don't even know this man.
mm.
You don't know this man. You don't know this woman. Right. We gotta exercise some patience to get to know somebody. Now I do understand that we're grown and some folks may choose to have sex right away. I get it. I would encourage people to just wait a little bit, but I'm not gonna knock anybody who chooses to go down that route. Right. But just know that it might come with consequences. I mean, not even we ain't even talking about the STDs. We talking about somebody getting the cookies and just bouncing because that's
Right,
all he wanted. Right.
getting
So it
ghosted
comes with
on
consequences. So be aware of that.
for sure. Um,
But y'all got to be patient. Okay. Don't be claiming some man just because he took y'all to a nicer restaurant and that didn't include a dollar menu. Okay. Don't y'all calm down, slow down. Okay. So you go, your turn, girl.
let me comment on healthy because, excuse me, let me comment on patience. That's what you said. Patient, be patient.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that I think a lot of us have struggled with at some point. Being patient because you want to be taken off the market. You want the world to see that you are in this whatever the relationship is. Um, you want people to know that you have been selected for, if for no
Mm-hmm.
other reason, right? And a lot of times, just like V just mentioned, that first time, the second time, you don't know if you dating the representative or if this is truly the person. And so it just allowing it to organically flow,
Mm-hmm.
right? You can really get to see the person. And when I'm coaching clients, because sometimes they come to me and they're like, should we get married right now? And it's really soon. And I'm like, what I highly encourage is for you to at least go through the 4 seasons with this person before
Mm-hmm.
you're thinking about saying I do. That gives you more opportunity. Basically, you can collect more data about this person because that's what you're doing. You're collecting more data about this person so you can make it more informed decision to say yes or no to the person. So go through the 4 seasons. Sometimes it takes you longer. I wouldn't suggest saying I do too shorter, but those marriages have worked out for some people as
Mm-hmm.
well. It's just in general for the masses, the earlier you say I do, the faster you also be part of the statistic that's there. So patience really is a virtue. And if the person is for you, he gonna be there for you or she's gonna
Mm-hmm.
be there for you. And so I just wanted to add on the patience portion of this as well as a healthy person and how they date differently. Um,
Yeah, I see
healthy,
you want to say something.
yeah, healthy women date differently because they are just really secure in who they are. I mean, that's kind of what all of this is underlying. They're very secure in who they are and what they want. And that what they want portion of it is a bigger piece, because some people get into the relationship and they're just literally still going along with the flow. They don't have any idea of how they want the relationship to unfold. And
Mm-hmm.
that's what gets a lot of us in trouble, not
Mm-hmm.
knowing what you want, not taking inventory before you get into these long-term relationships and especially marriage, and you have no idea where
Mm-hmm.
you two on the same page.
Yeah, like High Vibe says, being in a rush, this is very true, is what got me caught up with the narcissist, right? I was perfect
Mm,
for a love bomber. And that's the thing. Y'all gotta take the rosy color glasses off, or rose color, whatever they say, right? Because you really don't know who you are dating. That's why I'm gonna keep saying it. I said, like, if you go through some of my content, right, you will see that I will say catch flights and feelings. I thoroughly believe, and what that mean is you could get to know somebody on a trip, a road trip. Y'all ain't gotta go like, I went to Africa and we went through the Serengeti in Tanzania on our fourth date, right? And being out there in the middle of nowhere, nothing but each other, and I didn't even know who this other person was at the time, right? But I took a chance, I took a big risk, and I went all the way to the continent of Africa with a stranger, right? And we were out there 2 weeks in the Serengeti. We were in the night. It was a
yeah.
beautiful tent, right?
Ooh.
It was lions and the hyenas were scratching up against the tent in the middle of the night. And then I'm sitting out here with somebody I don't know. So I'm like, I don't know if he act crazy, I'm gonna have to take my chance with the lions outside. Like,
Oh
I
no.
didn't know, but it ended up being a great, great trip, right? We did have a medical mishap out there
Mm.
and had to see the village doctor. And that was on me. That was on him giving me something that that my body reacted negatively
Oh
to,
no,
which was
child.
edible, and anyways, but we learned about each other out there. I learned how he might handle stress, and he learned how I might handle stress, right? But that was a very stressful situation in itself, and I felt like I would have only learned those things about him because we were in a stressful situation, going to dinner every day, going to the movies, playing hopscotch outside. You ain't in no stressful situation unless that restaurant gets robbed while you're there, right? Like you're really not in no
Yeah.
stressful, unless his credit card got declined. And
Mhm.
I've been on a date like that, right? The card was declined for
I can't with you.
$12.
I
It was
can't with you.
declined for
I knew that was coming. I can't with
you
you.
know I'm gonna say that story. It got declined for $12. And I was like, oh, that was a club damn soda. Oh,
Oh no,
that's all
man.
I had, and his card was declined. And I said, "Oh, he damn sure ain't getting no coochie.
Oh
He
no,
can't afford
man.
no coochie, you know." But anyways, right? You don't know about anybody until you are in some stressful
True,
situation.
true,
So,
true.
and that's gonna come with time, right? And if you're not giving it any time, I promise you don't know this person. You see, I know
Child.
Lamar. Would you say have the tough discussions first? But okay, but what's a tough discussion though? You got like, what's a tough discussion? We on the date, boo. We on the date. Then what's a tough discussion? And I see Yoli. Hey Yoli, welcome to the party. I saw your comment. Okay. 12. Yes, Rhonda. I'm not Rhonda, girl. Let me tell you, I went on a couple of hundred dates with a couple of hundred men. Okay. I got stories. Okay. I got some stories for y'all. And that is a true story. No lie. I'm not even lying. It was $12. Mhm. I like right saying how they act in different situations. Yes. You don't see how they okay, boo. You better Lamar, you better have them $12. You better have $12, hon. My red, you said your red flags. Okay, so we talking about, the green or the red flags, but yes, like what a what are some healthy? We talking about the healthy things that we need to either be or recognize when we're out here dating. Okay, so you
I
go
think
ahead.
that was, I think that comment was to what you asked him. What are the tough conversations? And
Oh,
then
what the
now
red
he's saying
flags
your red
are?
flags. Yeah.
Lamar, give us a red flag. We on a date. We on a date. What's a red flag? What's a red flag that I may exhibit if I start rapping? I mean, like, what's a red flag
You
for
know what?
you? I start, girl. I told you I was practicing twerking. Y'all think I'm BSing. I'm practicing. What if I start twerking at the dinner table?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, no. I don't care what he say. No, ma'am.
That's right. Okay, but y'all give examples of a red flag. Okay, you go right ahead, Marshaun. How does a healthy woman date differently?
She asked for what she want. She asked for what she want. I know a
Okay,
lot
now
of
that's
times.
tricky though. That's tricky because some women take that now. Some women take that be on the first date talking about I'm looking for my husband. Would you suggest a woman to say that?
Okay. You know what? Here's the thing. If that's where you at, I wouldn't necessarily suggest that. But if that's where you at and you feel that that's your truth, because sometimes we just need to practice saying things, asking for things.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to go for the juggler right away, maybe that's the area that is getting you out of your shell.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're serious about trying to get to know somebody, that's not necessarily something that I would say on the first date unless it was brought up organically. If it was
Mm-hmm.
brought up organically, there's no way I would lie about it, especially if that's one of my goals per se. But that wouldn't be something I'm going to the table, boasting and all attitude. No, because we only here because I saw a future with you. That's not what I'm saying at all. But
Okay.
I think that a lot of times. So what I'm specifically talking about when asking for what you need or desire, a lot of times we hold our tongue because we're so scared of losing the person and how they're going to react to what we are asking for.
Mm-hmm.
And it could be something simple. It could be something major, whatever major is for you. But just practicing asking for what you want. Healthy
Mm-hmm.
people when they date, they absolutely ask for what they want.
Mm-hmm.
And it really doesn't matter if this matches up to what you want. This is what I want. And if it's not a match, it's not a match. See,
Okay.
it always goes back to me being able to ask you, but I'm not scared if we're not a match. We're just not a match. Okay, moving on to the
Okay.
next. I actually didn't waste a lot of time with you because I did have this tough conversation or ask for what I want up front.
Okay. Well, Lamar says somebody's not feminine. Okay. And that's debatable because I really feel like Lamar, we got to have the conversation. Like, femininity is really, I think it varies. How about that? Because a woman's femininity is definitely going to shine and come through in the presence of masculinity. It is a balance. And I had a partner tell me that, and I couldn't disagree. And Lamar, you probably gonna disagree with me too, right? A woman is supposed to already know how to be feminine. Yes, I agree with that point. However, I know how to be feminine. I've seen it all my life. I've seen it all my life, right? However, if I'm in the presence of a man where I gotta fight the world, let's say we on a vacation, I'm dragging my luggage because he done got pissed off at me and he took off and he's 20 steps ahead, right? And now I'm putting my luggage in the overhead bin and I'm doing things that are bringing out my masculine side. How feminine can I be, in that situation, right? It's I know at the core of me knows how to be a feminine woman, but if I'm in the presence of a feminine man, then one of us is going to have to pull our balls out, right? One of us is going to have to step up to the plate, right? We both can't be sitting here acting like two little biatches, right? It's just like So I feel like feminine, we put it all on the woman, and it's like, well, we both have to be accountable. Right. It's a balance. Like, you got to show up to make sure that you are showing up in your strongest masculine side so that, I can show up in my strongest or softest feminine side, or if not, then Why do I need a man then? If I'm going to be the man, I don't. If I'm going to be walking down the street and karate chopping all the men because my man is in the alley hiding back in the car, like what do
Mm,
I need him for? It's a balance, like, and I
yeah,
think
you
that's the
don't.
part that we got to make sure that we understand, because it's not all on a woman, it's not all on a man, it's both of us standing strong in who we were meant to be, right? And if a woman comes across a man who's not standing strong in his leadership, not standing strong in his masculinity, I mean, like, what we supposed to do?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I don't really have much to say to that other than I agree. I think that if you want to see more femininity from her, then absolutely your masculine side needs to be front and center in order for
Mm-hmm.
her to be able to relax and, be appreciative if you're pulling out the table, or if you're deciding to, you guys are walking on the street, you're walking near the traffic, you as the man. So you understanding what it means to be in your masculine, so you can portray those things when you're out on a date. Because somebody just mentioned a lot of men don't know how to. High Vibe says there are a lot of men who aren't trained in chivalry. If you don't open the door for me from the car, then you aren't going to get my most feminine self. So it just, if you're not trained, as she just mentioned, if you're not trained in chivalry, I highly suggest that get some pointers or take some classes. I don't know if they necessarily have some. I'm sure somebody have a YouTube video about how to be chivalrous and the things that you can actually do. There are ways to get these skills if you really want to see her in her femininity.
Mm-hmm.
And just
Yeah.
just like women have to take the classes to be more feminine as well. So I'm
Yes.
not just saying it's a man have to be up on their game. We as women have to be up on our game as well, and be more
Yes.
aware on both sides of how we're showing up. Because if that's something that you require in your relationship, then you
Mm-hmm.
have to be able to be in your in your side of the vehicle, if you will, so she can be on her side of the vehicle in the
Mm-hmm.
same car.
Absolutely. Because we women want a man to lead, and I thoroughly believe the man is the lead in the relationship, right? And we women are receivers, right?
Mhm.
We are receivers of the energy that you're giving us, and if that energy isn't of leadership, and masculinity and wise counsel, and it's not showing us that we can be safe if we're sharing our feelings and our emotions about something that's between me and you. I'm
Right.
not talking about my emotions about, oh my gosh, look at the whatever's going out here on the news. You could turn on CNN at any time and see it's a shit show, right? I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about if I have issues about hard relationship, I'm coming to you. I've already said many times, I don't share everything with my girlfriends, especially if it's between me and you.
Right. Yeah.
Right. And so if I'm coming to my partner about something that I don't like, that, something's going on in our dynamic, I'm expecting my partner to listen and to ensure that I have a soft place to land. And if I don't, no,
Mm,
it's not gonna be
mm,
good. Like,
mm.
I'm gonna be chipping away and steadily checking out, because if I can't come to my partner
That's good.
about us, where the hell am I supposed to go?
Yep. It's true.
But they claim, oh, but y'all women always talk to your girlfriends. Well, women only really talk to their girl. Well, not all. Okay, some just tell their girlfriends everything, and I'm gonna say you shouldn't, right? If something's going on in your relationship that your partner has done that has offended you, you need to talk to your partner. Okay, I understand venting, but you got to talk to your partner. You don't always take it up with your girlfriends. That's just my opinion.
Especially if she's not wise counsel. And we know our friends. If your friend ain't wise counsel, don't take it over there.
You
Because
ain't
she only
lying.
gonna have your back. She only gonna have your back, and everything is gonna be highly negative. And at the end of the day, you're still gonna leave that particular girlfriend with the same feelings, or even worse, about your partner.
And they ain't gonna forget.
Absolutely.
That's why I don't tell my mama and daddy too much, right? As much
That
as I
part.
love my mama and
That's
daddy,
right. That's
I
right.
like, because I know my mom is very, like, she gonna come with her emotions, and my mother, she not gonna forget. And my daddy, he's very protective of his daughter. They had two, so his daughters, but my sister's in heaven. So um they now, I'm not gonna tell them things because they're gonna forever look at you side. And then I got three sons. You come over my house, you likely to get your ass jumped. You coming over here treating their mama any kind of way. So I'm like, I know I'm gonna have to keep things to myself, right? Because and I got 2 grown nephews and 2 grandsons. I'm telling you, it's all boys over here, and I got boy dog. You getting your ass beat up over here. That's for sure. So don't come over here acting crazy. Okay,
Yeah.
so and what my boo boo Lamar said, I think that's a young man's problem on chivalry. Older men know. Boo, I'm telling you right now, we of the age, not all men know. I've been out on dates and men did not hold the door. Okay, and I let them know. I let him know that that was not acceptable. No cooch either. Like you just kind of know, like I'm already really selective in who I allow to touch my body. But you women, we know who
Mhm.
will never touch it.
Absolutely. That part right there, for sure.
And you get added to that list quick. Never, never touch no part. Can't even touch my toes. NYC chocolate. I agree. V, it's a balance, but then I would say he definitely wouldn't be right for me. I need to be treated like a lady. I agree. I agree. Yes, we want to be treated like a lady. If men would only understand, like, if you treat us like you give us a soft emotional space and a physical space, like you the protect and provide, and I don't mean monetarily, like just that energy, you're gonna get a really soft, beautiful woman. But I hear men and Lamar, I know no man wants to deal with all that hard exterior, but it's not even the hard exterior. It's just stand in your masculinity. That's all you have to do is stand in your masculinity.
Mhm, mhm.
So, and what Yoli say, yeah, exactly. Some friends aren't good for your health. Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, what you say, Lamar? No man wants to handle anyone. What that mean, boo? Yeah, don't have a high vibe. Yeah, don't have a Love Jones moment. Sis gave Nina bad advice. Mm. Oh, hey, Dr. L. Good evening, Dr. L.
Hey, Dr. L.
Okay, so I do have some because I want to touch back on what you said because I find this to be a little tricky sometimes.
Okay.
The difference between a woman or even a man, they're going out. We're going out, not me and you, me and a man. Me and a man. Ain't that type of show. We're going out on a couple of dates. Let's say that we know she wants to be in a relationship, right? But on the flip side, she also kind of wants to see where this is going. We know that some men will be like, oh, well, I'm just gonna go with the flow.
Yeah.
Okay, so and I know people a lot of I seen on social media, they be like, don't go with the flow, don't go with the flow. That's just BS. But in my mind, I'm like, well, I could see about going with the flow because I don't know if I like you or not. Right. So let's just see where this goes. Right. So when people say go with the flow, what does that mean to you? And would you not go with the flow?
Okay, so if we talking about early stages, so
Mhm.
I'm a term it as that early stages. I could absolutely see what you're saying as far as going with the flow, trying to see who he is, collecting the data, having fun, but also getting the questions answered that you need answered, having those deeper conversations. To me, that's going with the flow in the beginning. After
Mhm.
a period of time, there is no going with the flow because I need to now all the data that I have collected with
Mhm.
dating you multiple times, having conversations with you, I should know if you are for me. So after a minute, and when I'm asking these direct questions, not beating around the bush, direct questions, and you continuously sidearming me or changing the subject because I'm not paying attention in the moment, you forget that I go and reflect on how did I feel today? Did I get the questions answered? And at least this is what we should be doing. So in the beginning, going with the flow, absolutely. After a period of time, there's no way in hell that I'm wasting the pretty anymore. It's not what's that's not what's happening anymore. And
So are you saying that you would bring it up like if what after 3 months? Like how long are you gonna go with the flow?
so hmm, I know this is different for everybody, but
Hmm.
the question is about me particularly, right?
Hmm.
How long am I going? I'm going with the flow. Yeah, 3, maybe 4. I might stretch it to 4 months because I just don't want to waste a lot of time on you. That's just
Okay.
not what I want to do.
Okay.
Yeah, 3, maybe 4 months after that, because in my mind, we're not talking periodically.
Mm-hmm.
We're not hanging out and or dating periodically. You have been around, we have been around each other multiple times. We've made dates, we've actually showed up to them or canceled or whatever happened. So by 4 months, I'm saying 4 months, I'm stretching it. By 4 months, I have collected enough data to know if I want to continue to see you, if this is enough for me to continue putting time, energy, and effort into you to see where this is going. I'm not saying in
Mhm.
4 months we get engaged, but I'm not going with the flow. That's too long.
Okay.
That's too long.
Okay, so High Vibe says no, older men do not know. It's a shame because it's intentional. Gen X men were raised with that understanding, so when they don't do it, I think who hurt them. Okay. Mm-hmm. Now I'm gonna just
Mm,
address the go with the flow thing.
okay.
Now this is the way. Okay, because I know when people get a title, they start acting differently. Okay, women and men.
True.
So
That's
in
true.
my mind, somebody gets the title of girlfriend, boyfriend, fiance, husband, or wife. Now all of a sudden, the dynamics of the relationship change. We start showing up differently, especially women. Y'all get that title, y'all be like, well, I'm the girlfriend now. I'm the wife now. Okay, you was going over your mama house, fixing her roof and cutting her grass. Well, I'm your wife now. Okay, I come before your mama. I wish what do that with my sons. No, no, no. Them boys came up out of me. Okay. So if he want to come cut my grass, I'm not saying he needs to, be up over here taking care of his mama, but come on now. Don't alienate people from their families that was here before your ass. But anyways, like people get a
That
title.
depends. I'm gonna have that depends, me right there. That one
It depends.
depends.
I'm saying a healthy relationship. I've seen it where then all of a sudden they start alienating and acting like mama don't exist no more. And I'm like, come on now. I would never take a man from his mother. I would never do that. Or
No,
his
that's not healthy
children.
though.
Or his children. Like if you have a good relationship with your children, please keep that. I ain't here to
That's
separate
not healthy
anybody.
though. If those people are pulling you, snatching you, giving you all of these ultimatums after they have already said that they accepted you, and I'm
Hmm.
specifically going to a marriage, that's not a healthy relationship anyway. And if see, this is where the evaluation and the patience and slowing
Hmm.
down comes into play anyway, because if we really figure out and factor in these things, asking yourself, not him, asking you, or not her, asking yourself the tough question, will I be able to deal with this? Him going to go over every time his mama called his
But
ass.
people don't. But
He
see, no,
dropped
because they
everything.
want the title so badly
Mm-mm.
that they just under their breath, they just be like, you know what? I'm gonna just keep dealing with this until I become the title,
Yeah, but
right?
that's the
And
problem.
I know, but the man won't know. The man the whole time is not going to know that she putting on the front until
True,
after
true.
he says I do. Then all of a sudden her other side comes out, and so I'm kind of I'm gonna go with the flow. Like I am going to be like, oh, look, I'm not dating anybody else. You dating anybody else? We're exclusive. But as long as I am showing up as my original person, like I'm
Mhm.
still investing into this relationship, because mentally I'm still pouring energy into us. Because I feel like sometimes when we get that title, we get slack, then things start disappearing. What you were doing in the beginning of the relationship just goes away, right? I was getting flowers every Thursday. Now I see flowers once a year. And it's just like, come on now. Like we can't get too relaxed. So
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
would prefer to just keep pouring, hey, let's just keep going. And just because we have a title don't mean I'm gonna stick around and stay because now I got a title. If you stop pouring into me, what's going on? Let's have a conversation.
Listen, I think that that's a whole lot, and I totally could be wrong. But when you were speaking, it doesn't sound like you're talking about just like in the beginning, going with the flow. Going with the flow, it sounds like you have, like you said, you had this tough conversation of where we are exclusive. For me, going with the flow is even before that conversation happens.
Hmm. Yeah, what I'm also saying is I don't need a title.
Okay.
I don't need. I just need to know that if we're not rocking safety, right, then come on now,
Okay.
let's be, yeah. But I'm saying I don't. Oh, are you my girlfriend now? You right? Yes, no, or maybe. Like, no, I'm looking at your actions,
Mm-hmm.
right? I'm looking at how you treat me. Those are the things that matter, not no damn title, because somebody can give you a title, right? They can give you the title of wife and still got side piece number one, two, and three. Don't allow that title to get you messed up into thinking that you are everything to somebody, right? Y'all better be paying attention to how people treat you. So I'm paying attention to how I'm treated, how he's acting towards me. Well,
Mhm.
if he was prioritizing me in the beginning, are you still prioritizing me? I don't give a damn about your title. You can call me whatever. Because if you treat me like something that I'm not, the OV coming out, girl, check out. I'm like, because I can feel the energy shift. The energy shifting.
Yeah,
I'm like, what's
yeah,
going on?
yeah, yeah. Well, you didn't point it out, but I'm gonna point it out. If y'all didn't hear, she specifically said actions, and the treatment. So that's literally two, because healthy people pay attention to these things.
Yeah.
We pay attention. It's not just lip service. Is your actions matching up to what your lip service is or your words are, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I totally read this one. Zach, I'm with you. Serengeti on fourth date. No. What we doing? Ain't
I had
nobody
a
topping
ball.
that.
Y'all, and I would do it again. I would do it again, hun. I'm, look, anybody want to go to Kenya? Because I'm looking at Kenya. I know they got a little bit of political unrest over there of, I think it's police brutality, a protest that are going on in Kenya, but Kenya's on my list. Okay. Put it in chat. Who want to go to Kenya? Because I'm going to Kenya.
But okay, so was it an actual date where like he paid for everything, or was it like 50? Because I'm curious now. Now that we talking about Serengeti again, was it like a 50-50 thing, or like you kind of doing right now? I want to go, and he essentially met you going, and y'all both went
Okay.
to the Serengeti, or was it an
Well,
actual he planned date and then y'all went to the Serengeti?
okay, well, you asked a perfect timing because there's Mimi. And I'm gonna tell you right now, Mimi and I have known each other since I was a young little girl.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And Mimi had hit me up, and I just told a story yesterday, last night, Mimi, right in our meeting. And she was a few years ago. V, I want to go to Tanzania. And I had never thought about going to Tanzania, right? I had done solo traveling, but never considered that. So I was going through, like, put in my journal. I researched Tanzania and I added it to my journal and said, I'm going to go to Tanzania. I'm thinking she and I going to go together. Well, Mimi did have life going on at that time, but Mimi,
Okay.
you did end up going on a vacation, but she backed out of Tanzania. She was going through life as we get older, our parents get older, and Mimi's dad, unfortunately, eventually passed away.
Okay.
Right. Before this happened, though.
Mm-hmm.
No, her father passed away after this conversation, this whole Tanzania thing.
Okay.
So
Mm-hmm.
Mimi ended up going on a different vacation. But I said, you know what? I still want to go. I looked at the pictures and it was beautiful. And I said, I'm going to go. So
Okay.
put it in my book. Then I meet somebody who is building property in Africa. Just, I'm telling you, the way that once you align yourself up to higher things, you will attract. That's why I say you attract what you are.
Yes.
Okay. So I had leveled up. Began working on myself. This is about a few years ago. A few years ago, got me a coach and was really trying to, be better. And I attracted better. So I just happened to meet somebody who says, "Oh, well, I'm going to Africa. Why don't you come to Africa too?" He was already going to be in Africa.
Oh,
I
okay.
flew
Okay.
out there and we met on a date. So who paid? We split it. I paid for we split the what you call a safari was about $5,000,
Okay.
right? Is the safari piece. And then we went to Zanzibar. So we split the cost. And it was around my birthday. And so he did pay for me to get upgraded to business class. So he went ahead and paid for that. And thus began my bougie journey of never sitting back and coach again. Because I said, yes, that's right, Mimi, you inspired me. Yes, but it was supposed to be me and her. We
Okay.
were
Okay.
supposed to have gone, but she couldn't go. And yeah, he and I went, and like I said, I didn't really know him, and we had a wonderful time. So would I recommend it? For anybody, it really depends on your own mental status. Like, if you got to level up yourself, you have to put yourself in a situation to where you're mentally healthy.
Mm,
Because if you're not mentally healthy, then you're going to have a disastrous trip, right? Because
makes
you're
sense.
going
Yeah.
to be out in Africa on a continent with you probably don't know anybody, for 2 weeks. And if you showing up, if you got all these issues, what you think's gonna come out on the trip? Your issues. So yeah, I had leveled up by then. I met somebody at the time who had leveled up as well. Hey, Cedric. So we both paid, but
Love it. Love it.
y'all could take a road trip. Nobody said you had to pack, and go on a 2-3 week trip. Y'all could take a road trip to maybe 2 hour drive to the mountains somewhere and just go away for a weekend. I really feel like that's the only way you're gonna really get to know somebody. Either waste 10 months of dates, the same type of dates too. How many damn restaurants y'all gonna go to?
Yeah, you definitely got to change it up in spontaneity for sure, because we all know about the monotony of just life.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to start off with the monotony of dating and thinking that it's gonna be you changed, or this sucks. We doing the same thing day in and day out.
And
That's how
we
you
too
set the
old for
relationship
that.
up. But that's how you set the relationship up.
We too old for that. I'm like, look, we 50 years old. I'm my 50th birthday party coming up, y'all. And you think I ain't wasting like that clip of Marlon Wayans and anybody else who talks about being 50 years old. I ain't wasting. Look, I ain't got no time to waste. Okay.
There
You
it
getting on this damn trip or not? You got a passport or not? Okay. You either going, if not, I'm gonna send you a picture. And it's as simple as that. Let's see. Mimi said, and now she always texts me about her business. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Because I've been on several since then. Haven't I, Mimi? I've been on several. And I ain't sitting back there. I told Mimi. So Mimi and I are supposed to go. Now we're gonna go to Tanzania. That's what she says.
Awesome.
Y'all are witnesses. Mimi, put it in the
Wow.
chat so we can have it recorded. We're supposed to go together. Okay, now if Mimi don't upgrade her seat to business class, she will be back there holding the goats and the chickens. Because I
Damn,
ain't
you
sitting
gonna
back
leave
there
your
with her.
friend? You leaving your friend?
Oh hell
Sheesh.
yeah, I'm gonna leave her back there. We get there at the same time. It's just she gonna be all crunched up, and I'm gonna be relaxed and sleeping straight. So, this guy has set the standard. Now the poor coach guy's in trouble. You ain't lying, but you know what, Yoli? I'm gonna tell you this, girl. I'm gonna tell you this. I have my own. I'm a leader in corporate America and technology at that. Like, he ain't come across no broke either. So, I'm able to sustain the lifestyle as well. I was just being cheap, girl. That was my Chinese side. Okay. My Chinese side is cheap.
Oh wow.
Don't get it twisted. What was your backup plan if things went left, V? That's a good question, High Vibe. I'm gonna tell you, I didn't really have a backup plan
Mm.
per se, but I will say this: when we did the Serengeti tour, it's with a tour guide. Okay, so we had the greatest tour guide, the sweetest man, right? Who was just he looked out for us. He really did. If things were to go left, because we were in the middle of nowhere, when you're on a safari, you can't even leave your tent at night, right? Because there's animals. So
Right.
once they walk you, once the what's the warriors called? Masai, where once they walk you to the tent, you're not allowed to leave the tent at night, right? Because you can get eaten by
Mhm.
animals that are preying out there. So that was something different. That was kind of fun and cool. No Wi-Fi, no TV, no radio, nothing but you and him talking and getting to know
Okay.
each other.
Okay. Mhm.
So but you're out there with a tour guide. And so if I had to vacate, that's why you get travel insurance. But I mean, I would just pay for my way to get home, or I pay for another hotel somewhere or another tenant camp. I would financially, girl, I wouldn't. I didn't think it didn't bother me because I knew that I was like, if I had to, I would. Oh, okay. NYC chocolate. Now, Shedrick, you been in the gym, right? Because I know you told me the other day you been in the gym. He said, let me tell you one thing he said the other day, right? I think it was yesterday or 2 days ago, on my video. He said he has been leveling up, and his ex came back, and we're gonna call her out, right? She came back, right, Cedric? She want that old thing back. But here's the thing: once you level up, we
You
ain't
don't
going backward.
backtrack usually.
We go forward, right? Because of course, somebody see you doing better, they want to be a part of that. right? And not to say we can't get back together with exes, because sometimes exes, you like, sometimes y'all got to work on things
Mhm.
individually. But if she's not working on herself or he's not working on himself so that y'all can both level up, then what you going back to, right?
Exactly.
So
Same old, same old.
my boo in the gym, stay in the gym, keep working out. Okay. Uh-huh. And Yoli said, Mimi, I hope you have your first class ticket because she'll be texting you from. Yes, I will. Yes, I will be texting her from the front. And I'm gonna send her pictures as soon as I get connected to Wi-Fi when
Oh,
we in the
in
air.
Jesus. Oh,
Mm.
shady friend. Good night.
Shady. I done told her up front. Mimi be sitting back there holding her purse like this. While them crying ass babies back there. Good evening, ladies. Bring y'all asses over to Looking for Love. Yes, we're gonna be over there because I know we can't stay on this show long tonight because I know we got a hard stop in a few minutes, right? Marshawn.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. Garrett said corporate America turning women masculine. Mm, Garrett.
That voice. Garrett, she coming for you, Garrett.
Garrett, I'm just saying, not all it ain't just corporate America, hun. They said I saw an article that said men today have lower testosterone than they've ever had before.
What?
Yes, y'all better Google that article. I saw that.
Girl, I almost
Yes,
Googled it right now. Just okay, I'll
look
do
it
it
up.
after.
Okay, Gary said you start twerking the dinner table. I'm out, fine or not. Okay, Gary. Not if I do a good job. I'm practicing.
Gary, stick to your standards. Don't fool with me.
Gary gonna stick around. He gonna stick around. I guess Yoli said. I guess you were not getting only good vibes, so you didn't feel the need for Plan B. Oh, you were getting only good vibes. Yeah, yeah. Even on first date, for our first date, okay. Let me be transparent. Our first date was a trip too, so it just wasn't to Africa.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Okay. Our first, I practice what I preach. I don't tell people to go on road trips. I practice what I preach. My girlfriends will tell you that. So
Mhm.
our first date was a weekend getaway as well. We did get an Airbnb that had 2 bedrooms. And always suggest if you because we live in the day and age to where you can meet somebody on another coast, right? And I would suggest do not meet in their hometown. Ladies, do not meet in their hometown. Make him travel as well, right? So if he lives in Florida and you live in Maine, then meet up in North Carolina and get it, maybe get individual hotel rooms. Or what we did was we got an Airbnb with 2 bedrooms, 2 baths. Okay, so that's what we did, right? I for your safety reasons, do not go to their house. Do not post up for the weekend in her house. You don't know what these people have going on. Meet somewhere else that neither one of y'all have ties to.
Yeah.
Okay, Garrett said, Yoli, I came in like a wrecking ball. Garrett, I'm gonna tell you, boo boo. The food is lowering their high vibe. The food is lowering their testosterone. I'm telling you, it's an article out there. I
Mm.
promise you, it's true. See, Garrett even said it's true. Testosterone is in at an all-time low, but that's only part of the issue. Yep, it's an article out there. Look it up. So when we say we are seeing less masculine men, we're not making it up. I'm not making it up. The
Mm.
data has already proven that. Okay. NYC chocolate along with inflated egos, high vibe. Okay. And yeah, I agree. Too much chemicals
Sure.
in the food. So I know we're not gonna be able to stay on long tonight, but what time coming? I know we gotta go. But Coach Marshawn, I'm gonna let you wrap us up because y'all we can't stay on too long tonight because Coach Marshawn, she got little kids. My kid's grown.
I sure do.
She got little ones, y'all. And she in California.
Yes, in California, my baby getting ready to do what she needs to do. She getting ready to actually take this over. But so you were asking me something. What were you asking me?
Also, something you want to mention, a wrap up or something you wanted to say about being healthy or anything?
Oh, yes, absolutely. So just kind of taking heed because I know a lot of us didn't grow up with this information, hence us putting high value information out there, not just the BS. And with that being said, just taking heed, taking these things, paying attention, reflecting, right? Asking yourself questions after the date, after you've been with this person for a while, because most of us didn't even realize that we need to reflect and how's this make person making us feel, and do I want to deal with these things long term? Am I able to, right, having the tough conversations
Mhm.
with the person, but also knowing what you want, reflecting on everything. Healthy people don't take a lot of stuff because they know deep down inside they don't have to. And it's not in
Mhm.
a mean way. It's just an I know who I am way. I know that I'm worthy. I know that I'm worth
Mhm.
more than what this person is giving me. And you don't have to settle. Healthy people don't necessarily have to settle, although I know that that can have some wiggle room that we don't have time to go down into, because that depends on everybody's the way that they're looking at things. But just understanding what you want and being able to voice these things to your partner. And if you're not in a relationship and you're getting ready to start dating, knowing what you want. So if you're going with the flow is a lengthy period of time, then that's your business. Just know what you want. Just
Mm.
know what you want. So
And
you can go in that without the mask.
I'm gonna read Rhonda's comment. Yes, I used to meet guys. Rhonda, like she said, I used to meet guys online who lived out the area, and one of the first questions they would ask is, "When you coming to see me?" Never. Yes, girl, yes. I'm not coming. Just are you tripping? Like, but you know what? There's a lot of women that will just do that, right? We gotta meet because if I'm putting in energy and effort to come meet you, then you meet me somewhere else because I'm not coming to an unknown area. I don't know what kind of drama they got going on at their
Mhm.
house. Y'all don't know. Like they're not gonna tell you that they got some crazy ex stalker, right? You
Right.
don't put yourself in dangerous situations. Go meet them somewhere else. I've done it before. I went on a date in Vegas. Yep, it was a date in Vegas. He didn't live in Vegas. He lived on the West Coast, and I said, "Oh, I like Vegas. I'll do Vegas. I like the
Mhm.
spas there."
Mhm.
And we just stayed in Vegas. Like I don't go to people's. Don't do that, y'all. It's not safe.
Right. For
And
sure.
Yoli said, I experienced that. One person offered to pay for the ticket because he couldn't travel at the moment. Well, he could pay for the ticket maybe to the 2 towns over and he could drive. But y'all don't go, no, don't go to nobody's house.
Yeah. No.
I
Don't.
tell
Yeah.
my
Don't do
sons
that
that
to
don't
me.
go to nobody's house. You
Mm-mm.
don't know what kind, you don't know there is some crazy people out here, some crazy exes out here.
Mhm.
Okay, well, that is it for us then. I know I could stay on. I don't know if y'all want me to stay on and talk about some more crazy dating stories, but I don't want to be out here talking about myself. Somebody else need to share some of y'all crazy dating stories. And then Mimi talking about I'm gonna be sitting on the pilot's lap. Mimi, I don't see anything about you promising. Let me see. I don't see Mimi trying to get out. I'm scrolling. I don't see her mention anything about I'm coming and see y'all.
Girl, you a mess.
I'm about to be on the trip again by myself. See, uh, anyways, all right. Well, you, Marshawn, you go ahead. You go ahead. Check out if you like. I'll stay on for a few minutes because I'm gonna wait for Mimi. Mimi, I'm gonna sit right here, wait for you to promise me in the world that you going on this trip. She said, "Look what she said. Shut the hell up."
Okay, listen. I was trying to wait around because I wanted to see what she gonna put the comment in there herself. But I'm gonna go. You and me, y'all messing. I love it all the time. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for coming tonight. I will see you next time. My baby got to take over my computer. So have a great night.
Good night, Coach. Good
Bye.
night. Okay, well now it's just me and I see. Well, you know what? Mimi, I'm okay. Oh, look, oh, there you go. Bousse in Creole is biatch, and she says, "I will be there." Okie dokie. Well, okay, so y'all heard it, and it's right there. All right. Well, good night, y'all. I appreciate y'all joining us tonight. So till next time, y'all take care of yourselves.